Welcome to Anime Out of Context, a comedy review show hosted by a basement dweller who grew up scrounging terrible fan subs on sketchy websites prior to the convenience of modern streaming, alongside a willfully ignorant soul whose only knowledge of anime comes from the shows forced upon him here. This show will contain spoilers, incorrect information, and copious amounts of adult language. Our hosts are not experts on any topic, and everything they say should be taken with a grain of salt. Thank you for listening, and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to Anime Out of Context, the show where I attempt to explain the sometimes weird, sometimes wonderful, but always hilarious world of anime.
And the first step to making progress is recognizing that you have a problem. Fortunately, I don't have any.
I'm Shaun Rollins.
I'm Remington Chase.
Man, this is gonna be a weird energy to start this show with, but that's okay.
We got a little too wacky for the Patreon pre-banter.
Wacky is a word that can be said out of your mouth. That is true. Rem,
Hey, I needed to get wacky after last week and the week before. I'm getting my ass kicked. All right, I'm getting my ass absolutely handed to me. Because what was the last thing I really enjoyed? I guess Skate was sort of good, but not great. I think
you enjoyed
it was Asobi. Yeah, it was Workshop of Fun. That was the last time I was happy.
The last time you were fully happy.
You've been fucking me up a bit.
Well, I'm sorry, bud. I didn't realize that was the case, but I did.
He didn't realize. Oh, he thought I would love Overlord. He thought I would love Classroom of the Elite.
Hey, I never said I thought you would. I just said that there's a lot of people who think you would.
So I'm hoping that this week is better.
It should be, Rem. It should be. Because, Rem, it's been complex lately. I wanted to keep things simple this week. I wanted to keep it nice and simple to save you some whatever realm of sanity you have left. So instead, Remington, we're gonna talk about goofs and jokes today.
Okay, goofs and jokes. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Feeling wacky.
Yeah, and the question is, Rem, is how far can a single joke carry a product?
Fucking hell. Well, I would guesstimate about, 224 episodes? So
So you're saying that we are the perfect show to cover this next topic today. I'm so glad that we were able to nail that down.
I guess it very much depends on the joke, so hopefully it's a good joke.
Well, I think that'll be up for us to decide and debate, honestly, Rem. Because today, Rem, keeping things in the realm of simplicity, I have a comedy anime that is pretty straightforward. The whole premise of this show is, hey, that guy seems like a protagonist, and seems perfect in every way. But is he, though? And what is he doing that makes everything seem so perfect?
Alright, okay.
Yeah, long story short, Rem, this is one of the most painfully simple things to explain. This anime is called Sakamoto desu ga, or the English translation is, haven't you heard? I'm Sakamoto. And the whole premise of this show, Rem, is there's a dude who is called Sakamoto, and he is handsome, suave, cool, perfect in every way. And everybody around him either loves him or absolutely despises him to, the umpteenth degree.
Okay.
And this entire show, this entire premise, is people either interacting with him or trying to mess him up in some regard, and the gags and comedy that comes from that.
I'll be honest, doesn't sound like a lot.
But hey, Rem, it's a single joke, and we built our podcast on a single joke. So theoretically, this could be a recipe for a fairly solid gag anime. After all, it got 12 whole episodes.
So Harry Potter is my favorite anime, but maybe that will be replaced with, haven't you heard, I'm Sakamoto.
I don't... Look, I'm just saying we shouldn't apply it to our podcast specifically, Rem. I don't think that Sakamoto should be part of our lexicon. I'm just saying that it's a show that we need to cover to really break down, the nitty-gritty details of comedy, since we're so such experts in the whole simple concept turned into a whole series after all. And who knows, maybe this will be a nice little lighthearted break from all of the sheer frustrating uh, things that you've had to witness in the past couple of weeks.
Sure.
Rem, you seem skeptical.
Oh, I very much am, Shaun. But who knows? I'm willing to be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, like, Rem, I'm gonna be honest with you. This show is so straightforward. Like, I couldn't come up with a clever way to introduce this show if I tried.
Are we just gonna have like a 5-minute part one?
Look, I don't want it to be a 5-minute part one, bro. I don't want this to be like, just us being like, hey, so this is the show, let's go watch it. Because that's not good entertainment. Like, we gotta do something for the content, we gotta have a goof here and there, we gotta make fun of ourselves a little bit. I'm just trying to make this, as cohesive as possible. And we got, a good handful of recommendations for this one as well. Like, even back when we first started doing this show, it's like, hey, this is a weird, wacky, funny show. Maybe this will get that stick out of Rem's ass. Why don't you try showing it to him? And I thought to myself, hey, you know what? Probably not. But if I show it to him, he might be able to have some kind of insight on it. And I think, you know what? Having a nice bit of comedy is good after a good couple weeks of despair, Rem. I'm trying to make you happy, Rem. I'm doing my best, man. I'm doing my best, but sometimes this job is hard. Do you know how much anime I have to watch on the regular? It's so much.
But you're a weeb. You can't be like, oh no, I have to do my favorite thing. Shut the fuck up,
Rem.
Get the fuck out of here. The emotional labor that is required in you watching anime is very different than the emotional labor required in me watching anime.
Are you sure about that, Rem?
Oh, I'm so fucking confident. I'm so confident.
Would you like me to give you some of the titles of the shows I've had to research recently?
No, but here's the fucking thing. You are a weeb, though. This was more or less your schedule before the podcast.
But Rem, before the podcast, I was able to pick and choose what I wanted to watch. I didn't have to sit through things like...
The number of times this motherfucker has pulled out, hey, no one has recommended this, but I found it, so I thought, why not? Shut the fuck, you still make the choices, you son of a bitch. Don't you lie to me. Don't you pretend like you are being forced by others. No, you still make all the decisions, all the choices. Get the fuck out of here.
But Rem,
get out of here with that victim complex.
There are so many bad anime each season, and I'm watching every single one.
I know.
I don't want to watch all of these, but I have to.
And you would have anyway.
I wouldn't have. Look, Rem.
You used to watch a bunch of trash. You still watch a bunch of trash. The only difference is now I also have to watch a bunch of trash.
Rem, you know what I could have done to you this week? You want to know what show I recently researched that I probably am never going to show you because it is, just that bad, but not in an interesting way?
I don't want to know.
Oh, I'll tell you the title and it'll tell you everything you want to know, except not really because it's even worse than you could possibly imagine. Yeah, I recently watched...
Sister Smooch in 2030.
No. Don't be ridiculous. They would never name something like that. No, Rem. I watched a show recently called Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World.
I'm so done with this shit.
Yeah, you think I would see that title, Remington? Do you think I would see that fucking title, sit down and be like, oh, you know what I could watch? I could watch that. Or get this, I could watch something that at least sounds interesting, like, I don't know, Ranking of Kings. That sounds interesting. We did an episode on that. It was interesting.
Here's the thing, Shaun. I do think you would watch shows like that because you're the kind of guy who plays hentai games as a quote-unquote joke.
I do not play
Haha,
them.
I have a hentai game. I'm gonna play it just as a joke. Ha.
No, that's not what happens at all.
It is what happens.
It is so...
Shaun, are you telling me that you have never played a hentai game as a quote-unquote joke?
One time.
One time.
One time with Dylan. I will gladly throw his ass under the bus for this one. And besides, the joke is
Let's
that...
move on. Let's
No.
move on. We're not talking. We know you're a weeb. Let's go watch the fucking show. See if it's any good.
I'm trying my best, Rem. I'm trying to do a good thing for people that aren't you and me, apparently. I'm trying to do it for the people that listen. But fine. Have it your way, Remington. Let's go watch the happy-go-lucky anime about the really perfect dude. Let's go watch some Sakamoto... Fuck! Let's go watch some Haven't You Heard I'm Sakamoto.
I'm dying.
Please don't. We still have one more part to record.
Shaun, right now, you are located approximately on my back. I'm gonna need you to get off of my back.
Rem, no, we can't have a 5-minute podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back after watching 3 whole episodes of 2016's Sakamoto Desuga, or Haven't You Heard I'm Sakamoto. And Remington, we got a little heated in the first half, I want to say. There was a lot of emotions being thrown back and forth, and I feel like we should start with your apology. Not anything related to the show. Like, you're allowed to have your opinions, but I just feel like you're very mean to me, Rem. I just...
Sure. I deeply and sincerely apologize for the existence of this podcast.
Hey, no.
I believe that together we have done a great disservice not only to each other, but also humanity.
No.
I can confidently say the world is a worse place, and that Anime Out of Context has directly contributed to the deterioration of society, integrity, morality, basically any favorable virtue.
Well, that backfired horribly. So Remington, rather than lose everything we've worked for the past 4 years, how about we chat about the show? Is it as simple as just a fun little slice of life comedy show that people can just, munch on some popcorn and enjoy? Or is it actually secretly an abomination upon God?
No, it's pretty straightforward, fairly pleasant. All right, thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Rem, no, we can't have a 5-minute podcast. We gotta at least push this to 30 minutes, not counting Patreon stuff. Otherwise, we will look like the worst people ever. Rem, look at me. I know we don't have webcams on right now, but you gotta look at me. Look at me through the void of the podcasting sphere. And tell me we have more to discuss. Please, buddy. It's a weird enough show that I figured, hey, maybe this will be a nice little fun break time to chat and talk about comedy and the weight of a single joke being carried throughout a show and how it can be very... Rem, there are things to talk about. We don't need to cut things off here. People are gonna think I suck at my job if we cut things off here.
For those questioning, there's genuine panic in Shaun's voice because he knows that while it's unlikely, it is possible that I would actually pull that shit.
He's done worse, folks. He's done worse in the past. We've scrapped episodes before. That's...
So a part of what he's doing is haha, funny, but another part is sincerely pleading for me to actually do the episode.
The amount of episodes we've done in the past that will never get released because Remington refuses to do the second part of them is unfortunately higher than 1. So I don't want another fucking... I don't want another Psyche
There's one special episode that just, it's like 3 years in the making.
Yeah.
Anyway. So let's talk about good old Sakamoto.
Right.
General premise of the show is that Sakamoto can do anything, whatever fucking works, right? Initially, the premise is that he's super stylish and cool. That's not really the premise, but also the actual premise is really difficult to fully elaborate on. But it amounts to he can do anything. He's a prodigious enigma.
He's the overpowered main character in a non-supernatural show.
Yeah, but also, he doesn't care. Oddly, the closest analog, I suppose, would be One Punch Man. It's not that far away. Or a Mob Psycho, but in that general realm of nonchalant talent, So we open up with a couple of boys talking some shit about Sakamoto as they play ball. And it's a very mundane conversation as they just toss the ball to one another. We get some exposition on Sakamoto. And the boys who were talking shit try to prank Sakamoto in a plethora of different ways. But at every turn, Sakamoto's able to deflect it or predict it. Instead of an eraser falling on him, he captures the eraser. They try to dump water on him in the bathroom stall, but he has an umbrella. He is prepared for everything, right? And everybody loves him for it. Eventually, they're able to trick him, though. They trick him into wandering into the science prep room all alone. They grab him. They're ready to beat the shit out of him or send sexy pictures to women. I don't know. It's an ambiguous plan. They didn't think anything really through.
To be fair, these guys aren't exactly, Machiavellian savants,
It's true. It's true. At the same time, a fire has started in the science prep room, and wouldn't you know it, the door is conveniently locked on the outside. Sakamoto has some master plan. The bullies, they're panicking. What are they gonna do? And eventually, Sakamoto is like, here, I'll handle it. And he starts going side to side. And the bullies are like, oh, he's trying to create a breeze to put out the fire. But actually, he's just making noise so that a teacher will come and let them out. That's some nice, fun general subversion. And that's our first. We watched 3 episodes, but really it's 6 episodes that are half length.
They're kind of shorter vignettes more than anything.
Yeah. And at the end of this one, the lead bully falls in love with Sakamoto. He is infatuated.
I mean, he's just so cool, Rem.
Yeah. I will say, while his friends tease him about it, they do seem to be generally supportive. Yeah. Like, the fellow bullies, they'll be like, you're in love with Sakamoto, but they're like, come on, man, yeah, it's all good. So, hey, that works. Then part 2 of episode 1, we meet some model character who's really irrelevant. He's like, I'm an amateur model. He's full of himself. I don't know. I don't get him. But more importantly, Sakamoto races a bird in the rain, and then the bird gets blown away and hit by debris, and then he goes and saves the bird, and a picture of that is taken and put in front of the student paper. If you're wondering, what the fuck? That is the best explanation I can give you. What more do you want from me?
I mean, I asked you what I wanted more from you, and you're doing your best, which I do appreciate. I am glad that we're going to have an episode of the podcast, Rem. That does make me happy.
The problem is trying to describe a lot of these events. It's one of those anime where it doesn't make sense when it's just explained like this.
It is predominantly a gag anime.
Yeah, and so you need to watch it to get the gags and the goofs. Nonetheless, everybody loves Sakamoto and that picture. Then we also get a bit where a bee ends up in the classroom and the teacher's like, hey, take off your uniforms because the bee is going towards the dark clothing. Sakamoto doesn't. Instead, he goes in a very intense shonen fight with the bee and he wins. And then the model sort of falls in love with Sakamoto too. Everybody is falling in love with Sakamoto. And then the amateur model decides, actually, instead of being an amateur model, I'm gonna go into comedy. And that's episode 1.
That is the natural progression. That's how we started.
Yeah, initially we were models and we're like, oh shit, you actually have to be attractive?
You gotta look good.
Oh no.
And, turns out that like long-haired scruffy folk aren't like typical model material, it turns out.
Then again, they told us we needed to be funny to have a comedy podcast, and we said, haha, that's what you think. And now
Jokes
here we
on
are.
them. We just have
Look
a good
how
editor.
far we've come.
We just have a good editor. That's what we got.
All right, episode 2. There's a kid getting bullied, and the kid asks Sakamoto for help, and Sakamoto is like, nah, fam. And then the kid's like, please, and he's like, all right. Those bullies, they're taking your money, right? So get a shitty part-time job. There you go. I'll get one with you. So they work at Whack-Donald's. And
how would you rate this
Sakamoto
on compared to all the other ones you've seen? Solid, okay, or mediocre?
Pretty mediocre.
Nothing that really stood out to you to really make this Whack-Donald's very good.
Nah. It's just your standard Whack-Donald's.
That's
really.
A shame. That's a shame.
I agree. Nonetheless, a bunch of crowds start to form because Sakamoto's at the register. The bullied kid works very hard and gets praised for it, but eventually the bullies show up, and these are different bullies. There's multiple sets of bullies. There's like bullies account for 50% of the characters in this show, if not more. I don't know why, but that's how it goes.
They're left over from all the Stephen King novels that haven't been written yet.
What a strange reference to throw into this show.
I don't know, man. Like, I think bullies, and I immediately think of all the bad bullies in like every other Stephen King novel. That is my association when people are like, oh man, a bully character, and I think to myself, man, Stephen King has written some really awful bullies, hasn't he?
I mean, you could easily change episode 3, which we'll get to make it a proper horror, but we'll get to that. So the bullies show up, and they wait around, and eventually they go to bully the kid, and the kid, he just received his first paycheck. They ask for it, but then the kid's like, no, I'm not gonna give it to you. So they beat the shit out of him. They beat the ever-loving fuck out of this poor kid. And then Sakamoto arrives, I would argue late.
You mean it's late if the kid's already had the shit kicked out of him?
Yeah. Sakamoto shows up. He defends the kid. The kid jumps in as well. They all have special techniques that are all fast food related. Haha, fun times. Then Sakamoto goes because he's still on the clock. And there we go. That's part 1 of episode 2. Part 2 of episode 2 is all about a girl crushing on Sakamoto, and she has multiple methods to make boys fall in love. But Sakamoto is impervious to all of these different methods. Later on, she and a couple other girls who are trying to interfere with her have a Ouija board and try to manipulate the answers, but eventually they fuck up and Sakamoto becomes possessed by a fox god, all right? And
oh yeah, Kokuri-san, yeah.
He gets possessed by a fox god and then asks them to build a makeshift torii gate for him. And they do, and it's teamwork. They work together and they become friends. And it turns out Sakamoto was not possessed by a fox god. He was just pretending. It sort of makes sense if you watch it.
Oh man, because right now, Rem, you do sound like a crazy person. It has to be said.
Yeah, I mean, the show is a little bit wily. The show's a little bit crazy. But I will say, something I appreciate about the show is while it's like the same old joke, it has varied the theme every single time. It keeps coming up with new stuff. And I appreciate that. Not only new stuff in the macro, but new stuff in the micro. You know what I mean? Where it's like, every time we see people doing different things, you could have Sakamoto deflect it all in the same way. He could have a signature style of deflecting bullshit, but he doesn't. Every way is a brand new, different, weird technique that he's doing. And I appreciate the variety. It's very nice, very welcome. Episode 3, part 1, is all about this Yakuza boss style bully leader who has made Sakamoto his errand boy, and Sakamoto is very eager to be an errand boy. He is a masterful errand boy. They ask for drinks, he will mix his own using the vending machines. They ask to grab gym clothes, he will personally sew the gym clothes. Right? He'll grill shoes so that they are nice and warm to walk home in. But eventually, the boss is overwhelmed. It's too much, Shaun. It's absolutely too much.
He's too perfect.
So he's too perfect. He tries running away from Sakamoto, but Sakamoto is always there, the perfect errand boy. He will not escape. Sakamoto, eventually the boss hides in the gym shed, but Sakamoto is there, and he's like, oh, are you staying overnight here? I've made a perfect bed out of all of the gym equipment, and I can even sing you a lullaby. So, he's fired. And Sakamoto, pretty disappointed by this, and is worried that it might be because he's a shitty singer. And like, these qualities are not, he is just truly aloof. He doesn't need to be a super genius. Sakamoto is just doing wily shit and isn't really aware of how wily it is, usually. And the final portion is with the bullied kid. Sakamoto is tutoring the bullied kid, but the bullied kid's mom is in love with Sakamoto. Don't think about it too much. It's weird. Don't worry.
It's a gag manga. It's meant to be all for the sake of lighthearted comedy, so try to treat it as such.
At one point, the kid needs to leave Sakamoto alone at home as he goes back to school and grabs a textbook, but that's leaving him alone with his mother. Now, they've pretended that Sakamoto isn't home, but the mother's suspicious, and when she sees Sakamoto's shoes hidden towards the front, she knows he's somewhere, so she goes on the prowl. She looks all around, but Sakamoto is a pro at hiding in every nook and cranny, every little crevice. He's climbing, he's parkouring around the house. Meanwhile, the mother is looking all around, looking for every clue, looking through every drawer. She will find Sakamoto, but it's looking like she will fail. She can't find him anywhere. She's about to give up before Sakamoto's phone rings. The kid is calling him, but that tells the mom everything she needs to know. She goes, tries to find him in the bathroom, and he turns the shower on right in her face. He runs away. He fools her into thinking that he has left, but he hasn't. So she's very sad. She decides to turn on her favorite little soap opera, her favorite, I think it's a Korean drama, and it stars someone who looks exactly like Sakamoto. That's why she's in love with him. And she feels very sad. Sakamoto eventually decides to show up. He films a quick video. He shows up and is like, "Hey, kid's mom, here I am." She chases after him, but he puts a DVD into the player and turns it on, then goes behind the TV, and it's Sakamoto on the screen, and he convinces her that he has been placed into the television, and she cries. A tragic ending to her love story. I don't know, man.
Oh, man. Sounds like John Carpenter could learn a thing or two from this episode.
If any, they had jokingly horror moments, but man, I would have loved it if they really leaned into
Really
it.
committed to the horror side of things.
Oh yeah, that would be great. But nonetheless, this show, it's pleasant. It's, I think already 3 episodes is a bit more than I'd want to binge in an instance. But as it feels like the type of show where it's like, if it's on, cool. But I'm not going to pursue it. But like, if it's on, I might not change the channel. You know what I mean?
Would you say it raises you out of the abyss a bit there, Rem?
A little bit, yeah.
Because you were pretty low before, and I
will also say that Sakamoto is what every preteen weeb aspires to be.
He's the ideal Chunibyo goal.
Yeah, Sakamoto is the archetype of that people follow and end up being like, milady. Like, that is what happens. That is the pipeline here.
But the biggest difference here is he's actually successful in it.
Yeah, with all that, and that's, with all due respect, y'all, I really want to emphasize, you're not Sakamoto. No matter who you are out there, you're not Sakamoto, and it's probably best if you don't try to.
Yeah.
Don't end up with a whole milady thing going on, alright? Just be a good person, do dope-ass shit, it's all gonna be okay.
Don't seduce people's mothers either. That's probably something that you should,
I mean, he did it unintentionally, to be fair.
It's not his fault. It's not his fault. But if you have any awareness of it, probably not the best course of action, all things considered.
Shaun, have you ever seduced anybody's mother?
Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of. I have, in recent times, been called a MILF hunter, which is unfortunate. Because of a patron pre-banter we did. And well, people seem to enjoy that little goof, that little gag, that chuckle.
Hey, if it's okay to be a MILF hunter, follow your dreams, John.
Hey, no. What I'm saying,
I won't tell your girlfriend. Wait, is your girlfriend pregnant? Is this your way of announcing it?
No.
Congratulations, Shaun.
No, thank God she doesn't listen to the podcast. Holy shit, that would be.
Oh, I see. You want a MILF, but a MILF that's not your girlfriend.
No, that's not what I want either.
I don't know, man. No. Let's really hope she doesn't tune in.
God, I'm gonna have to explain this to her, aren't I? No, weird.
No, fortunately, she doesn't listen, so.
Yeah, no, so theoretically I'm safe, unless a certain somebody starts blabbing. But that's besides the point, because I have nothing to hide. I'm not hunting MILFs. I'm fine. There are no MILFs in the...
You're not hunting MILFs because the MILFs are hunting you, am I right? Yeah.
Oh, God. Is this the time where I mentioned that there was a good 60% chance that my name was going to be Chase or Chad when I was born? That is unfortunately a true story. I'm glad that it didn't go down that route because, my God, could you imagine an anime podcast with a guy called Chad?
Good old Chad Cougar Bait, they call
I hate that. I hate that so much. Jesus Christ. I would like to apologize to all mothers who listen to us because I'm fairly certain there are a few.
I apologize, trying to get in their good graces,
No,
huh?
I don't want this to be the
I see you.
Rem, I don't want this to be the weird mom hunting episode. I am a good say-so
No,
lad.
Sean, the weird mom hunting episode is going to be our next Mother's Day special.
Oh, gee. See, the thing is, Rem, is I do have...
Tune in next Mother's Day. We find Shaun and
No.
Milk.
No. God, this... Hey, Rem, any guesses on what the MAL score for Sakamoto Desuga is? Any guesses so we can get off this topic?
I don't know, like 7.4. Just like sort of in the middle there.
Okay, not too...
I don't think people are freaking out over it one way or
But
another.
you don't think people are, like...
Yeah, maybe 7.3.
Okay. Well, with a surprising 358,000 ratings...
Oh, fuck. All right. I don't know. Oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
no.
I wasn't ready for that number.
Sakamoto.
I thought this was going to be a lot more niche.
I
Shit.
mean, it is surprisingly digestible, as you have found out, Rem. But with 358,000 ratings, Sakamoto Desuga is sitting nice and pretty at 7.56.
Okay, so still sort of within the ballpark, but yeah, my calibration was thrown off by it actually being popular.
Yeah.
I definitely assumed that this was much more niche.
That
I would have calibrated otherwise if I had known.
Because weirdly, when this show came out, it was 2016, and there were a lot of fairly solid, like, more serious shows around. Like, this is the same year that, if I recall correctly, ReZero came out. I can't remember if it was the same season or not. Yes, it was. It was the same this was the same season where we got My Hero Academia, ReZero, Part 4 of JoJo's, and like a lot more on the more straightforward side. The really bad Phoenix Wright anime, and and this was just like a nice little break of a show in between. It was very much a little lighthearted comedy show that could, just get a nice little laugh, something to watch in between when you're watching the shows that you actually cared about this season, is what it felt like to me. So,
Fair enough.
incidentally, a lot of people ended up watching it and were like, yeah, it's pretty good. And the people who
Yeah.
rated it poorly are like, it's the same joke, guys. Well, yeah, it is.
I do think it has good variety in the way that it tells the joke.
Exactly.
Because there have been a lot of shows we've seen that do just have one joke, but no variety in the joke. See, haha, he's short. So it's nice that they have such different execution so often.
Yeah. Like, one person said that this is a truly horrible anime, which is like, I don't know what you were hoping for, my friend.
Yeah.
But that's what happens when you read anime reviews, because a lot of the times, people are wanting something, and when they don't get it, they automatically throw the show to the wind as it's a bad show. But that's just the way some people rate this, because like a good 60% of the votes put it in like the 7 to 8 range, which for Mal is like good to decent. But yeah. And I think that's just a very fair assessment, all things considered. But I suppose with that in mind, Remington, yeah, this will be a bit on the shorter side. But that's okay. Sometimes a nice...
I mean, that was largely expected.
Yeah, that'll happen when you cover a purely gag-orientated show. But, sometimes you need something nice and simple after you've been in the abyss for several weeks.
Don't worry, we're not... At least it wasn't a 10-minute episode of the podcast. That's for next week.
No, hey. What kind of games are you playing, sir?
Who knows?
I don't like that. I don't like this is our busiest time of year. You can't be making jokes like that because something horrible will come to fruition and we'll miss a week, and I don't want to do that.
It's true.
So I guess with that in mind, final question for you, Rem. Is there any chance you'd like to watch a little bit more Sakamoto Desuga with me?
Perhaps in passing.
That is a completely fair synopsis. Well, with that in mind, thank you all so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed us having mild anxiety attacks over the pure structure of our show, then you can head on over to wherever you get your reviews, whether that be Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, or wherever, and leave us one of those lovely reviews. We do read every single one, and we love and appreciate every single one we get. And if that is still not enough for you, you can head on over to twitch.tv/animeoutofcontext where myself, Remington, and Dylan occasionally play video games. Albeit poorly, but we do play them. And if that is still not enough for you, you can head on over to patreon.com/animeoutofcontext, where you gain access to all kinds of lovely bonus material, including having the opportunity to be thanked live on the podcast. So, Rem, who are we thanking this week? And hopefully the names are a little less cursed than last week.
As always, we would like to send our regards to all of our bland bitch protagonists, as well as our magical girls, who we really appreciate. But moving on, we get to our yandere waifus, who no matter how they try to get one up on us, we will always have the perfect deflection. And on that list, we have Zombie Stomp 91, Soul Eater is Life, Xanax, Yandere Neko, Why Shaun, Why Shaun, Why Fuck Your Sister When You Can Masturbate to Akame ga Kill characters and then watch the show for the first
They're
time.
so bad.
Whomstove, Walk Me Home Gently, Way to Shell, Turtly Enough for the Turtle Club, Trenton Farrell, Travis J. Humphrey, Totally God, Tim Westy, The Susanator, The Big Bean, Take My Cheeks, Struggle Bus Celia, Stacy's Mom, Sonic X is my favorite anime, Silent Secondary, Shoujo Addict who doesn't need help, just more manga to read and anime to watch, Sean's Hot Throbbing Gumdrop Buttons, Sean still use Internet Explorer, sounds like he must like it nice and slow, Sean read this as Joey Wheeler, okay, hey, yooks.
I don't think you'll be able to get through it, man. You broke last time and you'll break this time, too. People requesting me to read things. It ain't gonna happen. Not unless Rem is in charge of the episode.
Okay, let me try again. Okay, let me try one more time.
Yeah.
I'll let you try one more time with me.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'll ask Joey Wheeler. Hey, you! You'll get there. They're so opposite.
Yeah. Because I have a very neutral American accent, and you're trying to do me in your awful voice with one of the most distinct American accents. Like, it does not work,
fuck.
sir.
Oh, fuck. Sean, punch Rem and make him watch Excel World. Sean, please know this isn't a call out on your improv skills. Burning to body, more like burning a body. Sean, new cyberpunk anime is incredible. Please check it out. School Days and Clandid for the feels. Salty Pretzel. Ross Palmer. Brandon Williams. Remington, can I book you for a mental escape, but it has to be turtle themed. Spicitis. Rem crushes my soul. Rem gave me depression. Oni-san got isekai'd to Arrakis, and all Misaka got was this lousy still suit. No waifu, no laifu. Nitsaira. There we go. Nick Harvey, Mikeka 7 Hierto, Mexican Gone Freaks, Matthew Drum says Dylan's an angel, Matt02 Max, Lizzie Anthea, King Rich Rock, Casey Mosley, Cassidy, Just a Traveler, Jax, Jam Hands. If you trigger a choice climax for stock and white swords, the card in the waiting room goes in the stock first. I, Remington, am a kappa, and I love to steal everyone's butt balls. I want to feast on your despair, now give me a cool and interesting anime-related pun name, you Irish fuck.
Man. Congratulations, you are now Saka, not you. There you go. That it's a pun. Look, man, they drain my soul every time, and I can't give you what you want. I just can't. You're asking.
I want
the
Rem
world.
to ruin Darling in the Franxx for me. Don't worry about it. I want Rem to ruin Darling in the Franxx for me. I found a jar labeled Sean's secret jar of Daddy's colt cum.
Oh God!
Holy shit!
Oh fuck!
Sean would like it returned,
No,
please.
God!
We have a P.O. box. Send it over to him. Hunter Davies.
No, don't! You cannot say that. People will send us weird shit in the P.O. box. They send us weird shit
No,
as
they'll
is.
send you weird shit. They'll send you weird shit.
I'm gonna jump out of a building.
Hey, Sean, say this. Dylan's hot throbbing toes are mighty tasty for my elegant mouth. Glenn Michael Dolan, Fuck of Love Foxen Boy. Ferdy the Birdie. Farmer Weeb's Bad Pickup Line of the Week. Want to visit my Mormon glory hole? Fantine Extreme Cobra. Yeah, it's all very cursed. It's all...
I jinxed it by saying hopefully it's less cursed this week. I'm sorry.
Elite Knight. Drink milk to prevent wobbly bones. Not a conspiracy. Dickite Mimicin, Picture and Tris Pentafluorethyl Trifluorophosphate, also known as FAP. And finally, Trans 14 Biz for Priadoleth. Crumb Sluts Bakery. Now try our Crumb Guzzlers. Creed 13, coming home from Riot Fest at time of recording. Maybe I'll see you guys at FanX shortly after.
Ooh.
I am not attending FanX.
I am not either, unfortunately.
Well, womp womp.
Haunted House season is...
Yeah, we got obligations.
I wouldn't have minded, but yeah, nah.
Shy 900, Cheese Monkey, Cage in the House, Brockhard for Geodudes, Blood for the Blood God, Skulls for the Skull Throne, Big Blue Bear Boy, Ayamuza's Ihura Fo Elochnelim Et. There we go. I actually pronounced it backwards this time. And when that final moment came to pass, like Christ, I come riding on an ass. Elise Howard, AJ Tunnels, AJ Honey. And now we go to the Boy Wizard tier, where you get the task you avoided by writing a Patreon name. Chris, you get planning your fiance's B-Day. And we do go to the Boy Wizard tier, where everybody is going to get a variation on Milady.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, break out the thesaurus, I guess.
Yu Yu Hakusho is the best tournament arc anime. For all the insects out there, Milady Bugs. Warning, you're 799 episodes away. For all the chefs out there, Maladles. Vincent Calabrese. For all those overachievers, my ladders. The Great Buttball of Despair. For anybody into a nice zesty drink, you get my lemonade. Shaun, you are my idol, and just like you, I will also stand behind Rem and slap that body. For all the teachers, my Grady. Rat Visa the Finish. For all of our true sports fans, my Bublady. Pours a glass of whiskey and listens to AOC. Also, thanks for the rum recommendation, Dylan. You get, for all of the nature, the fucking wood nymphs out there, McGlady. Please watch Illyrill, a cute slice of life about using music to heal people. Also, Rem is still a girl. When you've fallen in love with your sword, my Blady. My Afro ate my dog. For all of the geologists out there, my Jady. Momo the Griff.
Don't actually stop, but that one resonated with me a little bit too much.
Momo the Griff for all the Shadow Legends out there, Marady.
Oh, God, no, God. Ram!
Micah got his Overlord review.
I'm just going to come out and say, we have gotten emails from similar groups, and we refuse.
It's true, it's true.
Gotcha games are inherently toxic, I'm afraid.
For all of the people injured out there, my Bandady. Miguel DeLeon. For all the gamers out there, my Arcady. My Tawa says first 3 arcs of Bakemonogatari is just 8 episodes. For everybody who has broken loyalties, my Betrayedy. Latinos eats death for breakfast while waiting for April Fool's wild card. For all of the zealots out there, my Crusady. Inuyasha is my favorite cryptid. For all the zombies out there, my Decady. Hey Rem, do a backflip. For all the Kickstarters out there, my Delady.
Oh God, that hits a little too real.
Go ahead, call the cops. It won't silence the voices. They're getting louder. Please send help. You get the for all the soldiers out there, my Grenady. Crimson Reapers just because of the scythes. For all the Undertakers out there, my Spady. Beethoven 1201. For all of the trick-or-treaters out there, my Frady. Fuck, the Ginger Irish Fox is at the glory hole again.
Jesus Christ. Why are there two? Why are there 2 glory hole references in our Patreon?
For all the blue shoes out there, Miss Wadey. Anime Girl. For all of the illusions and also games, Musharady. Animated Z. For all the salesmen out there, Persuady. A Days. You get for all of my moneymakers out there, Mapady. And last but not least, Aaron Hageland. You get the opposite for all of my my Monopoly busters out there, my anti-tradie. All right.
Oh God.
I will say that is just some quality. That was a quality.
That was a
one,
really
right?
good.
That
no,
one,
like you had me chuckling several times, and I will say
best one possibly in here.
Yeah, no, like objectively, it was stupid but fun, and it gives me a chance to say this: Monopoly is an awful board game. I know that there is an actual thing that's called Monopoly, you know, like in the business sense. But every time I hear it, I just think of the god awful board game, and I just have to voice my opinion. It's okay because Rem agrees with me.
We go to our inappropriate Joey Wheeler tier, where Shaun, as Joey Wheeler, will give everybody advice on how to be more like Sakamoto.
Oh, fuck.
And it'll be specifically tailored advice just for you. So we start with The sentient lesbian food gets me off. All right. So Shaun, what advice do you have to help them become more like Sakamoto?
Before we begin, didn't you say, like, in the episode that you shouldn't try to be like Sakamoto?
Shut the fuck up, Shaun. Here we are.
Well, alrighty then. Okay.
Shaun, right now you are located approximately on my back. I'm gonna need you to get off of my back.
Okay, you know, fair enough, Rem. I will clamber down from your very broad, hairy back. Let's see. To be a bit more like Sakamoto. Hold on here. Hey, Yugs. Yeah.
So what does the person whose sentient lesbian food gets them off? What do they need?
Respect women. There you go. First and foremost, you gotta respect women.
You hear that? He's saying you don't respect women currently. Pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Next up, we get Raftalia's My Anime Waifu will return in September.
Now, similarly, you gotta respect men.
Oh, fucking quality. Next up, we got Pizza Cotton Candy is my waifu.
Never let it be said that we aren't inclusive. Respect all non-binary folk as well.
I'm amazed at your creativity.
Yeah, well, hey, you know, sometimes you get thrown under a bus and then you gotta really milk what you got.
Next up, we got Magic Ice Ball.
Man, I've run out. No, that's not me saying that there aren't others, but like broad strokes, you know what I'm saying? Let's see. To be more like Sakamoto, you know, you gotta take things in stride and enjoy yourself.
All right, he's calling you a buzzkill, Magic Ice Ball.
No, that's not what
Demon Ray 13.
Okay, to be more like Sakamoto, you gotta work on that core strength.
He's calling you a weak ass bitch.
No, hey, hold on.
Next up, we got my dear old mom.
Oh dear, here we go. To be more like Sakamoto, you gotta respect your elders. Yeah.
Yeah, fair. Next up, we got Chelsea Nussbaum.
Eh.
Also, I feel like you are
Floundering?
in your mind. Sakamoto is far more respectful than I think.
Well,
the
I'm
show
trying to give
presents
good
him
advice
as.
so that people don't, you know, do stupid shit.
All right, fair
this is
enough.
why we have a
Anyway, Chelsea
disclaimer.
Nussbaum.
Let's see. Be more like Sakamoto. Let's see. We already got core strength. That's very important. Otherwise, you're gonna fall over when you do that sitting in chair thing. Let's see. To be more like Sakamoto, you gotta be willing to try new things, even if it seems a bit silly at the time.
All right, this is solid advice. Next up, we got Blood Cell, not the white one.
To be like Sakamoto, you should always be self-reflective so that you can understand where you need to improve.
And last but not least, going above and beyond, we got none other than Dylan Hayden.
And Dylan Hayden, let's see. To be more like Sakamoto, just get some nice glasses.
nice and simple one on that
Well,
one.
yeah, you know. I mean, you can only give so much good advice. Like, people are gonna actually start listening to me as like some kind of guru, and I ain't about that. Because because then I'm gonna say something wrong, something's gonna take it too seriously, then we're gonna get in trouble, and we have a disclaimer in front of the podcast for a reason, you know?
Just wait till we open up Joey Wheeler's relation advice.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
His relationship advice coming this spring. All right. Thank you all for tuning in. If you want to reach out, whether it's for a comment, question, feedback, or recommendation, you can tweet us at AnimeConPod on Twitter, or send an email over onto animeoutofcontext@gmail.com.
Once again, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. We love you all very, very much. And as always, don't fuck your sister.
Episode 3 is all about this Yakuza boss who has made Sakamoto his little bitch boy. Shaun, have you ever seduced anybody's mother?
I have, in recent times, been called a MILF hunter. Sword Art Online, Sword Art Online, ba-da-ba-da-ba, Sword Art Online. Every time I hear it, I just have to voice my god-awful opinion. It's okay, because Rem agrees with me.
Welcome to Anime Out of Context, a comedy review show hosted by a basement dweller who grew up scrounging terrible fan subs on sketchy websites prior to the convenience of modern streaming. alongside a willfully ignorant soul whose only knowledge of anime comes from the shows forced upon him here. This show will contain spoilers, incorrect information, and copious amounts of adult language. Our hosts are not experts on any topic, and everything they say should be taken with a grain of salt. Thank you for listening, and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to Anime Out of Context, the show where I attempt to explain the sometimes weird, sometimes wonderful, but always hilarious world of anime.
And the first step to making progress is recognizing that you have a problem. Fortunately, I don't have any.
I'm Shaun Rollins.
I'm Remington Chase.
Man, this is gonna be a weird energy to start this show with, but that's okay. We're gonna talk about goofs and jokes today. Because today, keeping things in the realm of simplicity, I have a comedy anime that is pretty straightforward. The whole premise of this show is, hey, that guy seems like a protagonist, and seems perfect in every way. But is he, though? And what is he doing that makes everything seem so perfect? This anime is called Sakamoto desu ga, or the English translation is, haven't you heard? I'm Sakamoto. And the whole premise of this show, Rem, is there's a dude who is called Sakamoto, and he is handsome, suave, cool, perfect in every way, and everybody around him either loves him or absolutely despises him to, like, the umpteenth degree.
Okay.
And this entire show, this entire premise, is people either interacting with him or trying to mess him up in some regard, and the gags and comedy that comes from that.
I'll be honest, doesn't sound like a lot.
Let's go watch the happy-go-lucky anime about the really perfect dude. Let's go watch some Sakamoto... Let's go watch some Haven't You Heard, I'm Sakamoto. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back after watching 3 whole episodes of 2016's Sakamoto desu ga, or Haven't You Heard, I'm Sakamoto. And Remington, is it as simple as just a fun little slice of life comedy show that people can just, munch on some popcorn and enjoy? Or is it actually secretly an abomination upon God?
No, it's pretty straightforward, fairly pleasant. All right, thanks for tuning in, everyone.